Number one, the principle of neutrality. Everything that happens in life, all events, all situations, all circumstances are completely meaningless. Nothing in life has any built-in meaning. Everything is fundamentally neutral, not positive, not negative. These things are just props on the stage show of your life. You give the events, the situations and circumstances of your life meaning according to what you've been taught to believe they mean. Two people can give the same situation totally opposite meanings if their beliefs are different. When you give a negative meaning to something, you have a negative experience. When you give a positive meaning to something, you have a positive experience. It's up to you. At any point, you can consciously choose to change the meaning you give something and turn it from a negative to a positive. So by buying into a positive meaning for something, you allow that thing to become a positive experience, either now or at some point in the future. But without buying into the positive, you're left with a negative experience to work through. Number two, the levels of life. You are a multi-dimensional being. Three of those dimensions are body, mind, and spirit. They're all made of exactly the same thing, your consciousness, but they're separated out into different frequencies, with the body being the lower frequency and spirit being the higher. Now that's not to imply that any one of them is any better than any of the others, because they all play their part in the unique expression that is you. So when we die, we simply stop creating the frequency that represents our physical body, and our focus then shifts into the higher frequencies, and life continues there. Essentially, we're spiritual beings who've chosen to have a physical experience. Intuition and imagination are the conduits through which our higher selves, that is, our spiritual selves, stay in touch with our physical selves in our physical minds. Number three, the law of attraction. All right. In life, what you put out is what you get back. The situations, circumstances, events, and people that you attract into your life are a direct result of your state of being, which is essentially who you are. No matter how much you want something, or you wish for something, or you think about something, it's not going to manifest in your life if you're not in a state of being that's in alignment with that thing that you want. But what does it mean to be in a state of being that's in alignment with what you want? So it means that in order to have something in life, first you have to be the person who has it. Your imagination, your belief systems, your emotions, thoughts, words, actions, and behaviors must all be that of the person who has the thing that you desire. Then you have a chance of manifesting this thing in your reality, because you attract what you are. Now, you sometimes hear in kind of new age circles that the law of attraction means that you can just make things happen by using the power of your thoughts. Look, I've never found that to actually be true. I've only ever seen people create what they want in life when their thoughts, emotions, beliefs, words, actions, and behaviors are all aligned with the thing that they want. So if you focus on being the person who has the thing that you desire in thought, word, and deed, then the law of attraction will work naturally for you without you having to put in hardly any effort at all, because what you put out is what you get back. Number 4, the nature of physical reality. All right, this one is a little bit mind-blowing, but it served me well in many of life's more challenging situations. All right, your entire world, in fact, your entire universe is your creation, a projection on a screen. Everything that you can see, from the tiniest subatomic particle to the furthest away galaxy, is created by your consciousness. That's how powerful you are. Even the people you interact with in your physical reality are your creation. You create your version of them in your reality, and they create their version of you in their reality. And we all agree together at the level of our planetary mass consciousness to create similar realities, so we can all play the same game of growth and learning and exploration of the themes that we're here to explore. Now, the projectionist of this movie is your higher self, your spirit, and the audience is your physical body and mind. In the movie that you're projecting of your physical life, everything serves a purpose. Everything contributes to the plot, and nothing is created by mistake or without a reason, which means, as you've probably heard before, there are no accidents. Even the most challenging of circumstances, the things that make you cry out in frustration and anger and make you feel powerless and that choice has been taken away from you, are created by your own spirit for the loving purpose of your growth and acceleration. We do this because we want to experience life from the incredibly challenging perspective of physical reality. We are masters, giving ourselves a masterclass in life. Now, this concept doesn't take away from the fact that life is sometimes unexpectedly horrible, negative, awful, and terrifying. But at least it puts these challenging things into context, and it gives you a slim thread of hope to hold on to through the tough times. Number 5, creation. You are one single facet of the crystal of infinite creation. You are a part of all that is. You are the eyes through which creation experiences itself. Now, whether you call it source, creation, God, all that is, it doesn't matter. We're all a part of it. And to my mind, it's aware of itself as a single consciousness, but it's also aware of itself as a collective of all the consciousnesses that make it up. Because you're an aspect of creation, you are loved, because creation is love. Because you're an aspect of creation, you have a purpose. Creation would not be complete without you. Now, because you're an aspect of creation, you are worthy. Because creation doesn't make mistakes or create pointless things. So next time you doubt your worthiness, remember that you're an aspect of creation. And by definition, that means you are worthy. And remember that creation loves you so unconditionally that it will even allow you to create the experience of not being unconditionally loved. Number 6, limiting beliefs. As we go through life, we develop systems of belief. They help us make sense of the world. Especially when we're young, the people around us will often say, when you see this, it means that. And that helps to guide us, helps us understand what to expect from life. Now, given enough repetition, these things kind of seep into our unconscious levels and they become permanent fixtures of our identity. And we just don't need to think about them anymore. We just know that they're true. Often though, we develop beliefs that seem perfectly reasonable at the time, but ultimately they don't serve us in a positive way at a later stage of life. Like, for example, if we have a string of bad relationships and we develop the belief that all relationships are bad. Now, when beliefs become ingrained and they become part of our identity, an interesting thing happens. Because of the law of attraction, which we talked about earlier, we begin to attract the situations and circumstances of life that align with and validate the strongest beliefs we hold to be true. Even though our conscious minds don't know that we have that belief, we keep experiencing the same situations over and over again. We never seem to be able to figure out why. Even though we put in our best efforts to create a great relationship, because of the underlying unconscious limiting belief that we're holding on to, it turns out bad. There's a very powerful tool that you can use to expose your unconscious limiting beliefs. Probably the most powerful tool that we have access to on this planet today. It's the power of the question. If you're experiencing something in life that you don't prefer to experience, ask yourself this: what must I believe in order to be having this experience? It's a tough question to ask yourself, and the answer may not come straight away. But when it does, it's such a revelation and such a relief to finally be able to let it go. Number 7, excitement. The energy of excitement is one of the most fundamental creative forces of life. When you learn how to work with your excitement, life massively accelerates and you find yourself wondering how you came so far in such a short time. But what actually is excitement, energetically speaking? This is how I define excitement. It's the best definition of excitement I've ever heard. The sensation of excitement is your body's recognition that something is on your true path in life. Now, when you take action on your excitement, you're literally aligning all of the levels of life that we talked about on day 2, spirit, mind, and body. And when those levels are aligned, according to the law of attraction that we talked about on day 3, your physical reality, the thing that we spoke about on day 4, will change. And it will change very rapidly and very powerfully compared to when you take action that isn't driven by excitement. So this means you'll see a big increase in synchronicity. Things will fall into place to align with your excitement, or things will be brought to a head so that they can be cleared out of the way. So, every moment that you can, take action on your excitement. All right, folks, well, that brings us to the end of the 7 Days of Metaphysics, the 7 core principles that I believe are the most powerful in creating change in your life. Thank you very, very much for spending the time with me today on this. Hope to hear from you soon. If you want to put a question or something like that forward to me, you can do so at my email address, blair@thenakedcoach.com.au. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope to hear from you soon, and bye for now.